What's going on? Is she the wise? Welcome back to Vader's Lair. Welcome, my friends. Smash the like button. Do it. Let's get it. We got a lot to talk about today. There's actually a lot of news the day after the Kenobi trailer, including our first looks at Darth Vader in the Obi Wan Kenobi show. Let's get straight into it. Let's get into the Entertainment Weekly article, and then let's get your thoughts on it, because I want to know what you guys think. Make sure to smash the like button as you enter in, and if you're new here, a big welcome to you. Make sure to subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with the latest in all things Star Wars. Let's go. Let's get it. Alright, so I wanted to start off with the article that gave us our first look at Darth Vader. I don't know if you guys saw it earlier today. If you're in our Discord, you probably did. But holy Sith, exclusive first look at Darth Vader in the Obi Wan Kenobi series. And this comes from the Entertainment Weekly, which they already gave us some other articles. If you're in the chat, a big welcome to you guys. Darth Chaos, Don Clotterman, Ashton, Tim, Ducky Momo, everybody in the chat. Darth Boba, Baba. It's good to see everybody. I'm glad you guys are here. We're going to have a good time. Alright, let's get directly into this article and talk to you guys a little bit about it. So they say, we already showed you the exclusive first image looks of Ewan McGregor's return as the Cloaked Jedi Master in Obi Wan Kenobi. Those images also included the return of Joel Edgerton as Uncle Owen, as well as a formidable new foe in terms of the newest Inquisitor, the third sister Reva. Freaking dope. Those were some awesome images, and we have them posted pretty much everywhere on our Discord, on our Instagram, on our Twitter. Make sure to subscribe on all of those. But then it goes on here to say, but McGregor and Edgerton are not the only actors returning to Star Wars franchise for the new series, and Reva and the Grand Inquisitor seen in the recent trailer that was released yesterday are not the only Imperial villains on the hunt. Cue some labored mechanical breathing noises, because the Dark Lord of the Sith himself is back, and we've got your exclusive first look at the return of Darth Vader. Also back under the helmet is the man, the myth, the legend, Hayden Christensen himself, who transformed the Jedi Padawan Anakin Skywalker into the dark side villain in the Star Wars prequel films. Much like Ewan McGregor, it was a 17-year-long journey to get Christensen back into the role that he once played and back into this iconic figure. In terms of all of history, and he's one of the most iconic figures in all of history and pop culture itself. So here is our first look at Darth Vader in the Obi Wan Kenobi show. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's awesome. It looks like it is straight out of his kind of meditation chamber in Empire Strikes Back. But I am so hyped to get Darth Vader back and to see him and Obi-Wan fighting once more. Let me know how excited you guys are in the chat. Callisto, it is good to see you here. Gerber, what up, my guy? Welcome into the chat. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. Welcome in here. Let me know what you guys think of this, though. I'm freaking excited. This is just all of this stuff with the trailer the other day. Honestly, I think we're gonna get our first look at Darth Vader. Obviously we didn't see him in the teaser trailer yesterday, but when we get our first official big trailer for it, I think that might come May 4th, and that might be when we officially see Darth Vader in a trailer for the first time in I don't even know how long. Oh, it's beautiful, says Darth Baba. You could say that again. Yes, man on the moon. Ducky Momo, of course, is here. MK Matt, ooh, chills indeed. Welcome into the chat. Keaton Haas, yo, what's good with you, my friend? Welcome in. Can't wait to see Hayden, says Darth Chaos. Me either, dude. Me either. That was a great interview, says Darth Chaos. Ooh, are you guys talking about the Ewan interview? Yeah, we definitely got to watch it a little bit, I think. We got to watch it here for a little bit. It was foretold that Obi Wan Kenobi would make my week, says Darth Baba. Yes. Indeed it was. Ducky Momo says, my hope above all hopes is that we get a Rogue One Vader times 10. Dude, I think that could be possible. I mean, Rogue One Vader is closer to a New Hope as well, like practically right before. So if you want to put it in perspective, this is 10 years before, and him and Obi-Wan should both be at the height of their power. If we're being completely honest, it should be freaking awesome. Tim says, oh yes, he looks dope. It's just kind of weird to me they didn't give us this shot in the teaser, but whatever. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Tim, but yeah, whatever, man. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? I got chills watching the trailer, says Keaton Haas. Bro, I started tearing up the second or third time I watched it, man. Just the impact of the sound. Like, the first time I didn't have headphones in. Second time, third time, I was like, bro, y'all are just gonna make me die. So to continue on with this article, it says, in our exclusive image above, we see Vader appearing to emerge from the meditation chamber, which begs the question, since the meditation chamber allows the Sith Lord to remove his helmet as seen in Empire Strikes Back, might this mean that we'll catch a glimpse of Vader unmasked in Obi Wan Kenobi? Of course we will. Of course we will. That's the whole point of bringing Hayden back. Says, I wish I could tell you, says Hayden Christensen when talking to EW. With a coy smile on his face, I'm sworn to secrecy, said Hayden Christensen. Very good. As for the kind of Dark Lord we'll see in the series, that helps fill in the gaps of the time between Revenge of the Sith and The New Hope. Christensen is more straightforward, saying we're going to see a very powerful Vader. There you go. If you want to see a Vader that's 10 times stronger than he was in Rogue One, well, there you go. Hayden Christensen just said, we're going to see a very, very powerful Vader. Oh, indeed. And then he goes on to say, well, actually, that was the majority of what Hayden said in this article. But the series writer, Joby Harold, said his shadow casts across so much of what they do in the show. And the degree of his proximity to that shadow is something that we'll discover. But he is very much a part of the show emotionally for Obi-Wan and possibly beyond that as well. That's freaking dope. I really hope to see some flashbacks and some stuff between Obi-Wan and Anakin, maybe during even the Clone Wars, as I've kind of been hoping for a long time here in the show. You know, I think it could happen. But that's the bulk of this article. There's a whole bunch of other stuff I want to get into, but let me know what you guys think of this. What did you think of our first look of Vader? I'm super excited. I'm hyped up about it. Hey, 2 Star Wars Nerds says, you think we'll get another hallway scene? Ooh, interesting, my friend. Interesting. Good to see you, by the way, 2 Star Wars Nerds. And yeah, I think it's possible we get something along those lines. Maybe not exactly a hallway scene, but I mean, they've been doing more and more hallway scenes. Like, I don't know if you guys have even seen the Batman, or at least the trailer for the Batman, but there's one kind of hallway-esque scene for Robert Pattinson's Batman as well. So hallway scenes are becoming more and more relevant each and every year. But I think it would be dope if we did get another one. Callisto says, I love how they created the Vader atmosphere. Steam, fog, darkness, black equipment, and light that is visible yet not covering him. I completely agree, Callisto. There was once a thing that I heard where even in Jedi Fallen Order, when he comes into that game at some point, there's kind of steam and fog around him, and it's supposed to give that essence of the chill. Like, you know, they even talk about it in Star Wars Rebels. Like, whenever Vader's around, Kanan and Ezra have like conversations. They're like, it's so cold, and that's kind of the whole atmosphere with Vader. Is he's so dark and terrifying that he brings that cold essence and aura, and they do a great job of portraying it. It seems like that's one of the things Disney knows how to do perfectly, at least in the times that we've seen them bring Vader into canon. I love that thought, though. Great thought there, Callisto. Unmasked Vader, yes, indeed. Rage with joy, says Ducky Momo. That's just me all the time, man. I'm like so happy that I'm like raging about it, you know? Hey, Smith Family TV, welcome into the chat. It's good to see you. Ashton says, I've been keeping up with Vader Voices of the Dark Dawn. Interesting. Ducky Momo says, maybe we learned there used to be 20 Inquisitors, but Vader dubs 11 to 20 as too weak, and he coals the herd. What? He basically kills him. Yep, I'm doing it again. Getting myself too high. Whoops. Hey, do it, Ducky. That's what we do here. It's irresponsible speculation here at Vader's Lair. Do it. But, Ducky, I think you're onto something there. I honestly think there's probably... We know there's like an 8th brother and a 9th sister, so I've always kind of thought there's at least like 18, maybe 20, to your point, Inquisitors out there at some point in time. And yeah, maybe they don't all exist at one time period as Vader is kind of weeding out the weaker ones and stuff. But I think in total, there probably is a grand total of at least 20 of them. Heck, I'm wondering who the first brother is if it is not the Grand Inquisitor, which I don't think it is. I don't think the Grand Inquisitor is the first brother, or whoever the first sister could be as well. Gerber says John Williams' music is in the trailer equals instant win. You could say that again, Gerber. You could say that again. I did not expect that much of John Williams in the first trailer. I mean, a rendition of Battle of the Heroes. We got the Force theme for a second there. Of course, we had Anakin's Dark Deeds at the end, and then the Imperial, of course, Duel of Fates. So, I mean, dude, it literally was perfect. The music was perfect, as Tim said in the chat. And I love the renditions that they did, and I can't wait to hear what they do with the rest of the show and those 6 episodes we're getting starting May 25th, man. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's going to be freaking awesome. This is Robbie. Yeah, I know, Smith Family. Wait, Robbie, little Robbie? Hey, that's what's up, Smith Family TV. That's dope. All right, let's get into the next article since we're still getting this going. So, oh man. All right, did that pop up? All right, that popped up. That works. I think that works. This works. Whatever. So this is an article from the Direct, and it's kind of covering some of the stuff talked about in Entertainment Weekly. But it says the Mandalorian producer, aka the president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy. I don't know why they say the Mandalorian producer. Like, it's the Lucasfilm president. Kathleen Kennedy addresses potential Obi Wan Kenobi crossover. I guess they say the Mandalorian to kind of hint what they kind of go through in this article, but let's get into it here. One of the biggest achievements of the last few years for Star Wars content has undoubtedly been The Mandalorian. After the sequel trilogy crashed and burned, they say. Dang, that's harsh, but for most fans, okay, I think that might be fair. The entire franchise could have been on ice for years, but thankfully, Din Djarin and Grogu came along to save the day. The story of their adventures paved the way for multiple new television shows, all set in a galaxy far, far away. It was The Mandalorian's second season that truly elevated these new stories, as elements previously only seen in animated format crossed over into live action for the first time. Among them was fan favorite hero Ahsoka, formerly the Jedi Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. Are we like glitching out? Can you guys hear me? What is happening? Are we good? I was like glitching out, I think. I'm bringing the salt, says Certified Gumbo. Nah, JK, the trailer was dope. Can't wait for more. Hey, well, I'm glad you're on board, Coop. I'm glad you're on board. Here you're fine. Okay, I was glitching out. Alright, I was lagging a little bit. Bet. Let's keep it going, though. I didn't realize all those themes were in it. I just heard Duel of Fates and Battle of the Heroes. Yeah, it starts with Battle of the Heroes. It goes into, like, a brief Force theme when it shows Luke, and then it goes into Duel of the Fates after that, and then finishes off with Anakin's Dark Deeds at the end when we hear Vader's breath. It was freaking epic. I mean, like I said, the music was perfect, and of course it was. It's John Williams. Hey, solid. All right, let's keep it going. It was The Mandalorian's second season that truly elevated these new stories, as elements previously only seen in animated format crossed over into live action for the first time, including the Ahsoka, of course, who was formerly the Jedi Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. In the most recent finale, even Luke Skywalker made a shocking appearance, of course. And then, of course, we saw them in the Book of Boba Fett, along with Grogu, Luke Skywalker, Cad Bane, Cobb Vanth, all these freaking awesome cameos that we had talked about for a long time on the channel. With all of these elements from previous projects intersecting throughout these new Disney Plus ventures, can fans expect to see some more familiar faces in the upcoming Obi Wan Kenobi show? Potential Obi-Wan crossovers is the next part of this little thing here. It says, in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy commented on the prospect of crossovers in Obi-Wan Kenobi with characters seen in The Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett. Kennedy mentioned how all of these characters and events seen in the previous Disney Plus series fall within the Mandalorian timeline. And of course, it's all really just one big timeline. But she goes on to say, or it goes on to say here, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's director Deborah Chow added how the upcoming show's strongest connective tissue is the prequels. And that's freaking music to a prequel fan's ears. But this is from Deborah Chow. She says, the strongest connective tissue for us is to the prequels, because that's where our characters are coming from, and that's where the story started. So really, the prequels are the most connected to our series. Entertainment Weekly also noted, despite its answer, neither would completely rule out the characters crossing over from The Mandalorian or any other show. So it says, who could cross over from The Mandalorian? How much is crossover between shows and films to this point? The chances of familiar characters showing with their faces are high. The most likely candidate would be Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka. She's now been seen in both The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, so Lucasfilm might as well make it a tradition. After all, these characters have not interacted in live action yet, and it's something many fans would love to see. The show is also confirmed to contain flashbacks to Clone Wars, so the opportunity to insert the former Jedi into the picture are many. Maybe Temuera Morrison could be returning as Commander Cody or Captain Rex. It's unlikely Boba Fett will be involved in any way, which I didn't really think he was either. Another possibility would be to the recently reintroduced Cad Bane. While he may have died in the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi takes place far earlier in the timeline. I don't really think we'll see Cad Bane, so I'll kind of skip over this part. But the two also fought in the Clone Wars and everything, though the Inquisitors may be doing most of the Jedi hunting around this time. At the end of the day, however, most of the endgame focus looks like it'll be solely around Hayden Christensen and Darth Vader. The relationship between the former master and apprentice is something the foundation of the show was built on, and will lead to the confrontation that fans have been waiting to see for a very long time. Okay, to get back into this article a little bit, and I want to know what you guys think of all of it. And what's up, Baymax? I'm so happy to see you in the chat, my friend. Spider-Man96, it's good to see you. It's all good. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for being here, though. So to get into it, though, it kind of brings up Rosario Dawson as one of the first Mandalorian characters we could see. And I think it's possible for sure we could see Ahsoka, but I honestly don't think we'll see her in the current timeline. I think the only chances we do see Ahsoka would be in one of those Clone Wars flashbacks that I'm really hoping is in the show. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, but I don't really think we'll get too much of Ahsoka. However, I will say there is one thing that makes me think Ahsoka could be in the show, whether it is a flashback or the current timeline. And in the trailer, we do have a brief scene that kind of feels different from the rest of the scenes we have, or at least the rest of the kind of vibe of the show. And it's this one scene where there's kind of like a poof of black smoke or an explosion or something, and these green birds flying out of it, or flying away. And those green birds really strike me, someone said it in the chat yesterday, as Convors. Now, Convors are also what the creature Morai is, and Morai was an embodiment of the daughter that ended up kind of following Ahsoka around after the daughter sacrificed herself to save Ahsoka. So I think it's highly possible that Ahsoka could be in the show. I think the Convors could be a big hint to that. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. In terms of other Mandalorian characters we could see, though, my biggest one on my list is Grogu himself. We've already kind of had rumors that we could see some potential Order 66 flashback scenes, and with seeing a Order 66 flashback scene in the Book of Boba Fett, and of course having that be with Grogu, and how it kind of ended without giving us the rest of the story, I think it's possible we could see at least some sort of tie-in to the Order 66 flashback we think we'll get in Obi Wan Kenobi show and the one we got in the Book of Boba Fett with Grogu. So I think if any Mandalorian character really is on the top of my list to see, it would be Grogu. But let me know who you think from the Mandalorian series we could get. Obviously, we're going to get Luke, so that's a dead giveaway on one of the Mandalorian characters. But let me know who you think we could see from the Mandalorian in the chat, if any. Fare thee well, nerds. Hey, well, have a good night, 96. Alright, I'm going to get back into the chat here. See what you guys are saying. Robbie has gone to eat for dinner. I've got my phone back. There you go. I just hope they didn't put Grogu and everything. Well, Keaton, I want Grogu and everything, man. I think it would be dope. Don Cotterman says Mando spoilers, but not sure about Kenobi. I do have some Mando kind of potential spoilery kind of stuff later on that I will talk about with you guys. But I think it's a little bit out there, so I don't know if it's true really or not. So definitely take that with a grain of salt when we get to it. Yeah, if Uncle Owen hires Watto as a babysitter, I don't know what he's doing. I think Obi Wan needs to intervene if that's the case. Keen Haas says it would be cool to see Ahsoka, but they would have to cast a teenager, not Rosario. That's kind of how I feel about it, Keaton. I don't know if they actually would, or if they would try to de-age Rosario as Ahsoka, or what they would try to do. But I kind of feel the same way. I think if they do, it would have to be a flashback, and I don't think it would be Rosario as a younger Ahsoka either. Heck, I think it would be better to do Ashley Eckstein as a young Ahsoka, because she is smaller. I feel like they could almost just make it work better with a younger Ahsoka being Ashley Eckstein. Come on, do it. You know what I mean? Do it. Although, I mean, the whole point is for Hayden and Ashley to kind of, or Hayden and Rosario to interact, but I think that'll happen in the Ahsoka show. Dougie Momo says maybe some clone troopers using Grogu as a hacky sack. That's gonna be relevant later on, Ducky. Don't forget that you said that, and I won't forget either. Darth Chaos says I'm not confident in Ahsoka as much as I am as Qui-Gon showing up. That's kind of how I feel too. I think Qui-Gon is almost a given for it, but we'll see. We'll see how it kind of plays out. Only the flashbacks would make more sense for her. I feel the same way, Baba. Tim says, I mean, we already saw Grogu during Order 66, and Order 66 is in like every Star Wars project these days. Yeah, maybe I'm asking a little bit much. Man on the Moon says, I honestly don't want cameos in Kenobi. This story and these characters are hollowed ground to me. Tell an amazing story the way it should be told without resorting to features. I definitely agree with you, and in a way we already know we're getting features in it, so it's like, you know, I feel you. They should probably limit them. I don't really think we'll get much of Rex or Ahsoka. I've even heard Cody probably isn't in the series at all, so I think there's something to be said with what you're saying, and the people that were already getting in it, including the Inquisitors, who I want to talk about here, are definitely probably the most and the biggest extent of it. So let's talk about the Inquisitors a little bit, and let's get into Lair to talk about this. Actually, I'll just bring up this article from the Direct. But let's talk about the Inquisitors. So in the latest Obi Wan Kenobi trailer, there was what we saw to be the Fortress Inquisitorius. Now, if you don't know what the Fortress Inquisitorius is, because even I forgot about this place yesterday when we were talking about the trailer, this is a place that is awesome. It is awesome. If you've never played the Jedi Fallen Order game, Fortress Inquisitorius is the fortress or Vader's castle kind of place for the Inquisitors. It's kind of like their hideout, if you will. And this place is located on the moon of Nur. Now, Nur is actually one of the moons of Mustafar. So it's in the same system as Vader's lair, Vader's castle, right? The fortress is freaking sick. And I probably should adjust this, but the fortress is dope. And basically, in Jedi Fallen Order, Cal Kestis at the end goes on a mission to basically take on the second sister Trilla at this fortress. So that's kind of where we've seen it before. I think we've maybe seen it in some comics and stuff. Why am I so laggy? Why am I so laggy? Don't do this to me. Alright, we fine. But we get some images of Fortress Inquisitorius, and I'm super excited to get this place again. After seeing it in Jedi Fallen Order, which takes place about 3, maybe 4 years before the Obi Wan Kenobi show, I think this could be a huge hint to maybe seeing Cal Kestis even. Hear me out. Because obviously Cal Kestis went there and Darth Vader shows up. So what if Obi-Wan, is being tracked down by the Inquisitors and eventually decides he's going to go straight to their home, straight to the moon of Nur to fight them. And then he goes to Mustafar to try and take on Vader. I'm just speculating here, but let me know what you guys think in the chat. I really am excited to get Nur and planet, the planet Nur or moon Nur, whatever you want to call it. I'm so excited to get this place in Kenobi, as we've seen a couple scenes of it already in the first teaser trailer. And I want to know what you guys think about it. How excited are you to get this place? And do you think it's possible Kenobi could end up going there to try and take on the Inquisitors, similar to how Cal Kestis did? Need Mustafar in my life again, says Darth Baba. You already know I do too. And I do think we're going to get a couple of scenes of Vader on Mustafar in the lair, including that scene where he's coming out of the meditation chamber, and I cannot wait for it, man. I can't wait for it. So Fallen Order comes before Kenobi, says Ducky Momo. Yes, so I've been kind of doing a little bit of research lately, and Jedi Fallen Order does take place about 3 or 4 years before the Obi Wan Kenobi show. Jedi Fallen Order takes place about 5, maybe 6 years after Order 66, and then Kenobi takes place about 10, so it's about 3 to 5 years after Jedi Fallen Order. I think 3 to 4, really. I'm not exactly sure. But also, another theory I've been having, the solo movie takes place about a year before the Obi Wan Kenobi show, and in the solo movie we get a very brief glimpse of Darth Maul. And of course, Darth Maul during this time period is at the height of his power within Crimson Dawn, and it's possible we could see Darth Maul in the series. Now, my biggest theory on this, and I talk about it all the time now, but I'm just too hyped, and I'm lagging out again. Please stop doing this. What's going on? I don't know what's happening. Okay. I keep losing my train of thought because of this. But basically, Darth Maul, leader of Crimson Dawn, height of power about a year before the Kenobi show. And we know that he ends up stranded on Malachor about 3 years after this. Maybe even, let's see, within 6 years, I think. I don't even know. I'm trying to think now. Because Maul was stranded on Malachor in season 2 of Rebels, which would be roughly 2 to 3 years before. Okay, it would be roughly 2 to 3 years before the Battle of Yavin, before A New Hope. Maul is stranded on Malachor, or at least that we find him stranded on Malachor, and that's probably 2 to 3 years before or after the Kenobi show. And when Maul is on Malachor, there's very much hints to him already have experienced a fight with Darth Vader. So what I think is possibly the case of what potentially could have happened is Darth Maul goes to look for Kenobi when Kenobi goes off of Tatooine. And on his way to go fight Kenobi and go find him, he runs into none other than Darth Vader. And Darth Vader just absolutely kicks his butt, leaves him stranded on Malachor, and that's the end of him. That's the end of Darth Maul, all the way until we find him again in Star Wars Rebels, and that's how Kira eventually takes his power and becomes the leader of Crimson Dawn herself. But that's just what I think. That's a crazy theory that I have, but let me know what you guys think. Ninth sister could be alive, says Ducky Momo. She got Mace Windu treatment, so you never know. Okay, that's what this article is actually about, so I'll get into a little bit. This is Star Wars Theory, how Jedi Fallen Order's Inquisitors will return in Obi Wan Kenobi. Now, Trilla obviously is dead. And our stream is lagging. But, you know what? We just getting in the lair. I'm just going to read this stuff to you guys. I don't really need it in the background. So it says here, when the prequel trilogy was released, it provided a backstory for George Lucas's Star Wars story about Luke Skywalker and his father, Darth Vader. The 3 films showed how a little boy from Tatooine grew up in the Jedi Order and eventually turned to the dark side to become... Who? What? Oh, okay, so the prequels. Eventually turned to the dark side to become one of the most iconic villains of all time. However, another character that just got as much explosions from the prequels as was Obi Wan Kenobi. Obviously, blah, blah, blah. So going through this article, it talks about how the Jedi Fallen Order sister, the 9th sister, could be alive. The 9th sister in canon. It says, in the video game, only 2 Inquisitors actually make an Inquisitor. The 2nd sister, Trilla Sinduri, and the 9th sister. The latter is an alien creature formerly going by the name of Masana Tide, who comes from the Doatin race. Doatin race. She has a large physical presence and tusks that come from her chin. She, like the 2nd sister, had training from the Jedi Order on Coruscant prior to Republic's transformation into the Galactic Empire. Now, during a battle between Cal Kestis and the 9th sister on Kashyyyk, Cal Kestis ends up defeating her as she falls from a very large heights. Similar to Mace Windu, as you guys said, as Ducky Momo said in the chat. And yes, it says here later in the game, the 9th sister makes another appearance on Kashyyyk, this time properly facing off Cal Kestis. She made her fall at the end, as basically she ends up falling, like I said, and her fall is the last time that we see her in the game. And as of now, she makes no other appearances in any other medium after that point in the timeline. However, it's important to note that her databank entry in Jedi Fallen Order teases that she didn't perish on Kashyyyk. This left an opening for her to appear in a future project, most likely being the sequel to Fallen Order, or maybe even the Obi Wan Kenobi show. So will the 9th sister be in Kenobi? I don't really think so, but it says if the 9th sister did survive, she would have to go through even more cybernetic reconstruction, as Darth Vader actually often would torture the Inquisitors or cut off different parts of their body and different things to make them stronger within the dark side, basically, as he had to go through the similar thing, right? So it says, assuming she lived, it's safe to say that she probably has returned to Lord Vader in hopes that he could heal her. However, as seen as with the 2nd sister, forgiving is not Vader's strong suit, and he very well could have just killed her on the spot. So even if she did survive, I think there's a possibility Vader would have killed her and taken her out. And in terms of Fortress Inquisitorius and if there will be other Inquisitors in this show, it seems as though in Fortress Inquisitorius we have the 3 Inquisitors we see in there, one being the 3rd sister Reva, the other being the 5th brother, and then we have the other one who is kind of an unidentified Inquisitor at this point. But there's also, it seems, 2, maybe 3 other seats. So of course one of them would belong to the Grand Inquisitor himself, and maybe one would belong to the 7th sister who we see in Star Wars Rebels, or the 9th brother. Maybe that's the other 2. But maybe it's other Inquisitors, like maybe the 9th sister, or maybe other characters. Alright, let's get back into this chat, see what you guys are saying. My bad, y'all. Tim says the Inquisitors are coming for Sheev. Indeed, they are. 2 Star Wars Nerds says, dude, that theory seems legit. I really hope so. On the Darth Maul thing. I'm going back up into seeing what Tim said. Okay, I don't know what the heck I saw. What did Smith family Smith family says, I think that would be cool, but way much of a stretch. The big cameo I'm down with is Thrawn interacting with Vader. That's cool, Baba. So I actually think it's possible Thrawn could make an appearance in the Andor show that actually takes place after Kenobi, I think. I'm pretty sure Andor takes place a little bit after Kenobi, around the same time as maybe Star Wars Rebels, even a little bit before. Maybe I don't know. I'm pretty sure Andor takes place after Kenobi though, but I think Thrawn would maybe show up there, maybe more so than in Kenobi. Last seat could be for Vader. Not that Vader really seats. Nah, I get what you're saying there, man, on the moon, because it does kind of look like one of the seats is shaped as Vader's castle, kind of like one of the ships is too, and everything. So I don't know, man. It definitely could be Vader's seat, but I think Vader's seat is probably in Vader's lair. MK Matt says Ewan obviously or absolutely kills the seriousness / emotion on his face in the last scene of the trailer. The look on his face really brings me right back to Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, man, that opening line where he's talking about them losing the war and everything, it just hit so deep when I first watched it. It was like, damn. Proxy says Obi-Wan could be getting a second season also. I don't really think so, Proxy, but welcome into the chat, my friend. It's good to see you, Proxy. And he says, I heard Andor is getting multiple seasons too. So I will say Andor should be getting at least 3 seasons, and I think the second season is already being kind of worked on, or at least it's going to be, they're going to start filming by the end of the year when Andor starts coming out and whatnot. So Kenobi, I'm pretty sure is a limited series. Everything I've kind of seen, even in some of the Entertainment Weekly articles, kind of all point towards this being a limited series. It's only 1 season. However, I think it's highly likely that there's going to be spin-offs from this show. I've been speculating for a long time. I originally heard it from Nick Santos, who's kind of hit or miss on his takes, but he said that he had heard there was going to be an Inquisitor show, which I'm still really hoping for, man. Like, I don't care how they look, man. I friggin' love the Inquisitors. I think they're awesome characters. I love seeing them in Rebels. I love seeing them in Jedi Fallen Order, and now I'm gonna friggin' love seeing them in the Kenobi show. So I think if they did a spin-off show about the Inquisitors having to take orders from Vader and, throw in a little Sidious here and there, do it, please. Hey, Star Wars Politics, I hope you're doing well. Andor makes more sense, says Darth Baba. Yeah, I think so too for Thrawn. I think I'm really hoping we see him there. Tim says, they said it's possible Kenobi is getting a new season, but they already planned it as 1 season. They don't want to do more. Just gotta do more. I feel like if they did more, it just, they have to bend and play tricks with the story to make it all work. So I feel like 1 season is all we really need. And if it's really like a, almost 45 to 50 minute episodes, like I'm kind of thinking it will be, like, it's going to be a lot, man. It's going to be epic. Gerber says Thrawn is such a cool character. Just finished the first Thrawn book, currently on Alliances. Dude, that's dope. I'm getting through the end of the Ascendancy novels and everything, and dude, it's fantastic. The prequel Thrawn books are great. I gotta get into the first trilogy, and then of course the Heir to the Empire trilogy myself. But Thrawn is an amazing character. I love him in Rebels. I love him in every type of media that I've consumed so far. He's a great character in general. Ducky says, don't get me started on the Grand Inquisitor's Funko Pop head. I don't know. I was thinking about Funko Pops from Kenobi too earlier today, and how cool it's gonna be and everything. But you got a point there, man. That he's got a little bit of a Funko Pop. Why is my computer not working? Oh God. I can't even close freaking pages. Is it true that Andor is the show that George wanted to happen? I've heard that a couple of times. As far as I know, George Lucas had nothing to do with Andor other than creating Star Wars. I don't think George Lucas is heavily involved with any shows, to be honest. I'm sure they consult with him on stuff. I'm sure a lot of the people that have been in Lucasfilm still are in very much close contact with George and still very much friends with him, and ask for his opinions on stuff. However, anyone saying that George Lucas did some writing or was like heavily involved in Andor, if he was involved in Andor, sure, maybe Deborah Chow hit him up, asked him for some advice or something. Maybe the writers, we've been hearing a lot about one of the writers recently, and like maybe they hit him up, asked him about a few things. But especially because it is so heavily involved. Actually, no, because I'm thinking of the Kenobi show now, which makes more sense for George Lucas to be involved in. The Andor show, as much as it could have some awesome stuff involving, the OT trilogy and everything, I don't know why George would be involved with a character that's not even his character, Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense when people are saying that George is super involved with Andor. Like, I know that's kind of what and yeah, I'm not trying to dunk on that or be mean to Callisto. Like, it's all love, but just it doesn't make sense to me why that's a thing. Like, George Lucas working on the Mandalorian makes more sense than the Andor show, and Andor has all the same people from Tony Gilroy and all those people that worked on Rogue One. So I don't know, maybe they talked to George and everything for it, but George isn't out here writing. He's not, I don't think, he's raising a kid. He's got a wife. If anything, when he makes stuff, it's for himself and his super high class movie friends like Spielberg and all that. That's probably what he's making these days. And even then, he's probably busy enjoying life. Go live your life, George. You've done a great job, man. MK Matt says, % chance you think we get multiple season Vader show. 10%? 20 maybe? I don't know. It would be dope, but I highly don't expect it. I would love it. Talented Mr. Griffin, welcome into the chat, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Chaos says, last thing George advised was to keep Grogu a secret. If more things have come out, I don't know what if they're true. Yeah, Chaos, I haven't really heard anything. Ducky Momo says, it was a Doomcock rumor that the Den of Nerds reported too. I don't buy it. I didn't know it was a Doomcock rumor. That's hilarious. I know it was on IMDb and stuff, but you can't take everything you see on the internet as truth. I don't know why I have to say that. Both are naughty, yeah. Keenha says if he's getting a credit other than character based on, it means something. Yeah, but I don't think he is. I haven't heard it. He was listed on IMDb. I don't think that means anything other than he created Star Wars. Tim says George has credits for Mando and Boba 2 on IMDb. It's just because people saw he's listed as writer and it's nothing. Yeah, it's a big nothing burger in my opinion. It's probably just fans hyped about the show and fan dreaming that George still has a hand in it. I mean, in a way, like I said, I'm sure people still contact him, ask him for opinions and stuff, but yeah, he's not directly involved, I don't think. Smith Family TV says, I think George is involved as much as he is just there in big shot days, like when they did Luke. I don't even know about that one. I know he was there on a couple of Mando sets and whatnot. I don't know how often he's being called. But George is the GOAT, though, as Tim says. He is absolutely the greatest of all time. I love George. Even though he'd be wildin' sometimes. George is the best. Proxy says, getting ready for that Order 66 opening. Good. Good. Henceforth you shall be known as Darth Proxy. Going back up a little bit. No Inquisitors by the end of Rebels, says Dark Chaos. Indeed. So I'm sure we're going to see a few of them get canned in the Kenobi show, you know what I mean? And that would explain why some of them are gone by the time of Rebels, too. Okay, I read that one. Kenobi will be in Andor, says Darth Chaos. His story isn't finished until episode 4. I don't think so. I haven't heard... From what I've heard, that's not true. I don't think Kenobi will be in Andor. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think that's true. I think Ahsoka maybe will be in Andor, but I think even that's a little bit of a stretch. Hey, Yashbek, you don't need to be sorry. Welcome into the chat. I hope you're doing well. Hey, good evening to you, Daniel Fisher. Tim says, honestly, the volume being new was probably a reason for George to visit the Mando set too. Definitely. I think George would definitely be interested in seeing how technology has advanced for the filming process and everything. I think you definitely got a point there, Tim. You definitely got a point there. All right, let's get into the final portion of our stream. Now, I will do a quick warning because this is some pretty outlandish stuff, first of all. Like, I still can't take it seriously. I don't know if it's true. I really don't. But it comes from a very good source. It comes from Making Star Wars. So, Making Star Wars put out an article today. And again, huge potential spoiler warning, because this could be potential spoilers. Not for the Kenobi show, don't worry. But for the Mandalorian Season 3. And take it with a huge grain of salt, like actually not a huge grain of salt, but literally the like most microscopic tiniest piece of salt ever. Like, take it with a small little grain of salt. The title of this article is somehow IG-11 has returned and Grogu's armor explained. Now, again, this is some pretty outlandish stuff. I don't even think it's really gonna happen, but I don't know. Let's get into it, though. It says, as The Mandalorian readies to wrap up production and complete its final reshoots for the season, I have some exclusive information to share about developments for Grogu and friends. Baby Yoda gets his Beskar armor at some point during the story. Even the children are called to fight, and we see the armored foundlings in action next to their caretakers. In fact, in the next season, Grogu technically fights for Mandalore as a foundling in ways you would not expect. So it seems as though Making Star Wars is saying that, of course, from other rumors and reports we've heard from him and everything, and from other people, it's most likely that Din Djarin is going to be trying to reclaim Mandalore, and it seems as though Grogu and other foundlings are going to be fighting alongside their caretakers in a fight to take back Mandalore, and Grogu is going to get an upgraded, it seems like, Beskar armor. This stuff is super weird. So I don't know what this part is, but it says Miss Doubtfire spray. I don't, again, take this all with a huge grain of salt. Okay, it says, it appears in next season of The Mandalorian. Star Wars' favorite space nanny is back. Somehow, IG-11 has returned. What does the droid have to do with Grogu's armor, you ask? The IG droid acts as a match for or a mech for baby Grogu, or basically, here it goes on to say, that's right, Grogu literally sits inside of the chest of a modified IG-11 who's been reinforced with Beskar and has been turned into the foundling suit of Mandalorian armor. The little critter is well protected and as dangerous as ever. IG-11 is controlled by Grogu, however, he also acts as Grogu's Jarvis. IG gives him data on probabilities of success and protects the child when need be. And Grogu kicks some serious butt in the series once the upgrade is put into play. He literally beats the crap out of some of the stormtroopers. Yo, I can't. This is so good. If this is true, man. This is freaking... Like, this cannot be real. It's like straight out of Iron Man and things because of Jon Favreau. Like, I feel like this has to be some type of like fake spoilers, like Tim said. I mean, again, it comes from a very reliable source, but it says, how is this possible? Is the next part of this article. We can only theorize at the moment how IG-11 is back after exploding at the end of the season. At the end of season 1 of The Mandalorian. I didn't even think he exploded. I thought he melted into lava. Like, this doesn't even make sense to me. I suspect the Jawas we see scrambling after the fight just before Moff Gideon emerges with the Darksaber are probably somehow responsible for the like, this cannot be real, man. This can't be real. But it says that the Jawas that emerge after Moff Gideon has the Darksaber are probably somehow responsible for the salvageability of IG-11. Or we can speculate it is a new IG droid entirely, but crew members are calling Grogu's mech suit IG-11, so make of that what you will. My sources have also said the duo come to life via puppeteer's chroma keyed suit, sort of like 3PO in the Phantom Menace. So they do like a chroma key green screen kind of thing. Sources also say that they expect Taika Waititi will return to voice IG-11 via ADR recording during post-production. A long time coming is the last part of this. It says the concept was first implemented by Dave Filoni in Star Wars The Clone Wars for a character named Serapis. He was a tiny bounty hunter who used a droid body as a mechanized suit. I remember seeing this in the last or Seventh Samurai kind of inspired episode. It says Serapis was going to return to fight alongside Boba Fett in his duel with Cad Bane in the interrupted series. That can't be true. It says the concept is said to have evolved from asking the question of what it would be like if Serapis used the High Slinger assassin droid as his new mech suit. That cannot be true, man. It says, while the series was canceled, the idea was resurrected to solve how Grogu will fight in Star Wars The Mandalorian's third. In this instance, IG-11 made the most sense for the suit, considering the child's relationship to the droid. I know some will likely groan that no one dies in Star Wars, but I think droids are at least egregious use of resurrection, as they can be rebuilt unlike people usually. And before we get too critical, we don't know the story of his resurrection. I suggest reserving judgment. This is in no way exact at all, but a friend made a quick mock-up. Okay, so then they show a picture of what this could potentially kind of look like. And I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, because I can't get behind, like, as fun as this is, and as cool as this would be to see Grogu in an IG-11 Iron Man kind of suit. No, this can't be true. This can't be true. Alright, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. Daniel Fisher says, dude, IG becomes the frickin' Zero system from Gundam Wing. Yes. Laughing my ass off. What? Says Scott F? Yeah, dude. I don't know, man. Did the Onion get sourced on this one? Maybe. Do it. Does IG fly now? No, that's the Inquisitors. I hope we see the Inquisitors fly with their lightsaber. Like, just be like, they fly now. It's true. All of it, says Baymax. Wild story, but his sources are legit. He's writing in comical style because it's such a weird and crazy scoop. Fav doing a Star Wars Hulkbuster isn't that hard to believe. Yeah, it really isn't, but this can't be true, right? Politics says IG-11 blew up and melted. I kind of thought he did too, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about that, says Scott. I don't know either. It would be funny as hell. It would. Daniel Fisher says, if you merge with Comic Force in a mech, you create the Voltron Force. Tim says, I mean, I believe it, whatever. I kind of do too. That's the weird thing. Like, I don't think this is going to happen, but like, I kind of believe it. Who wants a $200 bet? It's true. No, I do believe it. Like, I mean, can you imagine just Grogu, the Mandalore, with the Darksaber and an IG-11 Beskar suit? Yo! Do it. Logically makes no sense, but it's Star Wars. If it's dope and real, I'm buying the Lego. Do it. Yo, yeah, for real. Just think how strong he will be. You already know, man. You already know. I think if Grogu and the IG-11... Yeah, Callisto says, I don't buy it. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. I don't blame you at all, Callisto. I'm having a hard time buying it. I think Grogu in the IG-11 suit could probably take on Darth Vader, though. Let me know in the chat. Heck, let's do a poll. Who would win? Grogu with the suit or Darth Vader? Who wins? Grogu versus Vader. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the poll. Who would win in a fight? Grogu in the IG-11 suit or Vader? Unlimited power. Vader times 20 OP. I don't know, man. Grogu's pretty overpowered too. That would make Grogu OP, no BS. He really would though. Vader, come on now. Probably. You know, I'm having a fun time with it. Wife says always Grogu. You gotta listen to the wife. You do. You gotta. The Iron Padawan wins. There you go. I mean, he's more of a foundling, in my opinion. He'd be stronger than Starkiller. Whoa. Don't get too far ahead of yourself, man. Starkiller's out here pulling Star Destroyers out of the sky, man. Broom Boy throwing a glass of water on them would win. Hey, you're not wrong though, Ducky. Star Wars Politics says, LOL, Grogu is just a baby. Yeah, I know. He's a 50-year-old baby. He's 50-year-old. Talented Mr. Griffin says, can he imbue IG-11 with the Force? Well, I think he still wields the Force. It's more like it's like a suit of armor that he can kind of control, like the Hulkbuster. You know, that's kind of what the whole article is like, kind of referring to. It's kind of like a Hulkbuster kind of thing. I don't know, man. I think this is absolutely ridiculous, but I love it. Proxy says Starkiller got nerfed out of existence. No, he's so strong that he can't exist. I think that's what you mean. Yeah. That is the bulk of our news here today, though. I don't even know, man. Let me know what you guys think of all of this down in the chat. What was your favorite thing that we went over today? Let me know in the chat what you think of all of it. Make sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you are new to stay up to date with all things Star Wars. Let's get back in the chat. Baymax says Mechanic Grogu will combine with the N1 to be the Grogumus Prime. I see it. I see it happening. Megazord, or whatever they're called. Vader will slay Grogu like Order 66. 53% of the vote is Grogu. Is not Grogu. It's Vader right now. So Vader has a slight edge, apparently. Not true, Chaos. Yoda didn't get his forced Padawan. Well, Yoda became a master at 100. Yoda became a master at 100. That is true, man on the moon. Obi Wan getting a season 2. Where? Where? Oh my God! I forgot about the Bad Batch news. I forgot about the Bad Batch news. That's how the Bad Batch has been going lately. Okay. So last thing before we get out of here, and I'm probably going to do a Jedi Fallen Order stream tonight, so if you guys are not on the East Coast or like maybe don't want to get sleep tonight or something, go check out our Jedi Fallen Order stream that we might do later if our computer actually works. But there is some Bad Batch news I did want to update you guys on before we get out of here. So it seemed like the Bad Batch was just MIA. It was like, what's going on with the Bad Batch? We don't know. It's not happening anymore. The Bad Batch doesn't exist. No, I'm just playing. But for real though, at one point I didn't really expect Bad Batch to be early 2022 as it was. A lot of people were speculating it was going to come May 4th, and it doesn't seem at all like that's going to happen now, which I should just trust in my gut, because yeah. So Bob Chapek, not Iger, Chapek, the current CEO of Disney, in the Investor Day yesterday, was talking about Star Wars after getting through the Marvel stuff. He talks about the 2 shows coming this year. The Andor show, and of course, Kenobi. And that was all he talked about. Now, honestly, I was watching it live, and it did seem kind of like he was talking about live action stuff, like the live action shows coming this year, and it also could have been that he was talking about the fiscal year that ends actually before the end of the year. So Andor is likely going to be the next show after Kenobi, it seems, at least live action wise. which we already kind of knew. But there was no mention of the Bad Batch at all, which made people kind of speculate and kind of wonder if we would get the Bad Batch this year still, which I think we will. I think we will still get the Bad Batch this year, but I'm not really sure. It does kind of put it up in the air. Now, however, with that being said, I was kind of like, well, what the heck is going on with the Bad Batch then? Do I really have to talk about it being potentially delayed or something? Like, what's going on with the Bad Batch? We don't really have any news. They're not talking to us anything, like telling us anything, basically. Well, today, the Convor call, channel on YouTube, I think it's run by Corey Van Dyke, I believe. I like the Convor call. Pretty cool people over there on that channel. They're running a big stream for charity for the stuff that's going on over at the Ukraine. So I definitely supported all of that. I even donated myself. So if you, I don't know if they're still going even, but go check out the Convor call. Basically, they brought on the Kiner brothers at one point, and the Kiner brothers actually gave us some information on the Bad Batch Season 2. Now, give me a second to bring it up. So it was kind of the info that I got was off of Reddit. So do take it with a grain of salt as well, but I'm pretty sure this came from the Kiner brothers who are working on the music for Bad Batch. Let's see, though. It says the Kiner brothers came onto the Convor stream. They joined about 2:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and the stream started around noon. So about 2.5 hours into the stream. And they gave us a little bit of info for the Bad Batch Season 2. They said that they've been working on the Bad Batch Season 2 soundtrack since Season 1. And that Omega will be a little bit older in Season 2 than she was in Season 1. So we can kind of expect a little bit of a time jump between Season 1 and Season 2 of the Bad Batch. There will be more characters in the Bad Batch Season 2 as well. And there's going to be a Coruscant scene in the Bad Batch as well. That's freaking dope. I can't wait to get more characters and Coruscant, man. That's super cool. I mean, now that we know Kamino went down in flames, or at least Topoka City did, it's cool to know that we're eventually going to go back to Coruscant. Although, that kind of makes me worried. Then maybe we'll see the Martez sisters, which I don't really hate them or anything. But I wonder if we do go back to Coruscant, if the Martez sisters, or maybe even Ahsoka, will be prominent. It does say two last things here. It says they also did a political noir-esque piece for the show, and they'll continue to make cryptic tweets for Season 2 as they go, which I love the Kiner brothers. I love Kevin Kiner too. Like, they do some great music for the Bad Batch. I think this is some great news that they trickled out there, and I love their cryptic tweets when the Bad Batch is usually airing, like they did with Season 1. Let me know what you guys think of this in the chat below. Gonk, it is good to see you, my friend. I know you are a prominent friend and family member of the Bad Batch. Gonk to you indeed. I hope you're having a good day. Tim says, I was hella wrong about Kenobi and Bad Batch. Dude, I feel you. I feel you. Bad Batch is a really weird situation. You can say that again, Tim. Steve Staranka says, yo, on my way home now. Hopefully be back on soon. Hey, good to see you, Steve. I'm glad you can make it towards the end of the stream. It's good to have you here, though. Darth Baba says, to be honest, all I want is live action this year. I think we'll get a little bit more than that. Michael J. Porter Bartholomew II. Hello there, my friend. It is good to see you. Welcome into the chat, Mike Porter. That's quite the name you have there. It's good to see you, Mike Porter. Much love. Chaos says, so they removed spring listing. That's it. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like, we had seen that they had put spring Bad Batch coming spring 2022, which was a big part of the reason people thought it maybe was coming May 4th. And then they changed it to coming soon, which if it's coming soon, I still think it's coming in 2022. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Start off next year with the Bad Batch, says Darth Baba. No. Finish off this year with the Bad Batch, my friend. Do it. Chaos says maybe it will come out in the fall. Maybe. I hope that it's Andor, and then we go into the Bad Batch, and then after the Bad Batch, it's Mando Season 2. Although I kind of could see Bad Batch not coming this year, just because there is a lot of Marvel content coming out as well, and I don't know if Disney is cool with doing the whole intertwining thing. Like, you know, multiple things coming out at once. But that is the bulk of what we got from the Kiner brothers and the information on Bad Batch Season 2. Let me know what you think of that. And the new characters coming in, the fact that Omega is going to be a little bit older, Coruscant, all of these details are little details, but they're freaking awesome details that give us so much to speculate on in terms of what we could potentially see in the Bad Batch Season 2. Yep, I could do without the Martez sisters. Yeah, I feel you, Chaos. Tim says, I don't even hate the Martez sisters. I just think their episodes weren't great. Exactly. Like, it's better with episodes with, like, Rex and stuff. Like, come on, give us the hype. Definitely coming out this year, says Tim. I think so, too. Proxy says, no thanks to the Martez sisters. LOL, ruined the beginning of Season 7. Oh. It's more like the middle. Darth Baba says, I'll shat myself. Oh, that's about to be like clipped everywhere. Mike, I see him everywhere, Porter. Yo, I'm so dead. Oh my god, that was the most hilarious moment of my life. Yo, I'm dead as hell. And the hammer slayeth. Slam. Oh my god. Don Clotterman says, when Disney talks about the year, their fiscal year ends in September. That's another point too, Don. That's what I'm talking about. So it means this year, but they're unsure when. That's kind of what I'm thinking as well. Smith Family TV says they were just a way to show Ahsoka that there were other types of... Yeah. No, I definitely get what you're saying there, Smith Family TV, and I agree. But then they brought him back in the Bad Batch, and I know they kind of do the same thing for the Bad Batch, but there's so much storytelling you could do with the Martez sisters before it kind of gets old. Yo, I'm dead. Ducky says animated should be easy. I don't get the delay. Maybe trying to do rewrites to... Possibly, Ducky. You know, there's been a lot of speculation in the kind of Star Wars content creator space of the Bad Batch, you know, intertwining with Kenobi or different live action shows, or even with the Book of Boba Fett when that was coming out, you know, Omega being kind of like a sister to Boba Fett. And I think that definitely could be possible. Maybe they're changing a little bit of things to make it more integrated. I would love that. I gotta start making best offs. Say what? I don't even know what you're talking about, Tim. I saved that. Oh no. Oh, best ofs. Okay, I get what you're saying. I'm dead. Martez sisters will have freshly shaved heads, especially for Ducky. Oh my god. What's up, Mike Porter? Yo, I'm so dead. That was great. That was a classic moment I just had there. Oh man. Never miss. Smith Family TV says, yeah, I won't miss them if we don't ever see them again. Just enjoyed the growth Ahsoka went through during that time. I think that is the best and most fair take I have ever seen on them, Smith Family TV. And leave it to you to have it, you know. May 4th would probably be a perfect day to make season premiere for the animated shows. An annual thing they usually release around the same time every year. That's why I was so sure. Tim, I definitely hear you on that, and I definitely think that could be a thing still, and maybe it's like, oh, to throw us off, you know. The Bad Batch Season 1 aired last year on May 4th, and I think the year before that, we had a Season 7 episode of the Clone Wars air on May 4th. So yeah, maybe we will be getting animated shows on May 4th every year, but maybe that's just fanboy dreaming as well. Daniel Fisher says the sisters could still serve as a plot device, though. No. The Martez sisters will die. I'm so dead. Alright. I think I'm going to get out of here and prep the next stream. If you guys want to check out some Jedi Fallen Order, we're going to be playing through the rest of it. Heck, we might even get to that Kashyyyk part with the Ninth Sister tonight. I don't even know what part we'll get to. But if you want to see Cal Kestis kick some butt, me kind of controlling him, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and come check us out later. I thank you guys for being here tonight. I think it's been a great time. A lot of fun speculation, a lot of theorizing on different things we could see in the Kenobi Bad Batch Season 2 and in the Mandalorian Season 3. So let me know what your favorite part is, whether you're watching on the replay or watching live in the chat. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you guys for being here, and much love. Go check out our Discord, our Twitter, our Instagram, all below us. And of course, subscribe to Vader's Lair. Smash the like button. Before we get out of here, I'm going to read some last few chats. Your chat spat is on your Discord. Oh my god. Shame. We need another season of Resistance. Okay, on that note, we're gonna get out of here. Peace out, y'all. No Resistance for me. Have a good one, guys. I'm just playing. I haven't given Resistance a good enough chance yet. Peace out, though.